Howdy, folks. This is my first live stream in the field. Jörg here from Dreamland Resort. I don't really know how many people are in the stream right now. I'm using my phone for the first time for this live stream. I am up here at the Powerlines Overlook with almost a clear view of Area 51. We see the Area 51 airspace from here, and I will show you that in a minute. But before I do so, I want to introduce you to friends of mine that are up here with me and that you may know from YouTube and other streaming media. So here is Lee.
All right, how you doing, folks? I'm Lee Wilbarger from KLW World News. We brought our Intimidator van up here so as that we could stream live. What we're going to do is the first live stream from Area 51 in 4K. So this will be the first time. We've done a lot of research, and from what we can find out, nobody has ever done this before. So we decided who to get better with than Jorn here to show us around and tell us about the place and do the first live stream. And then who could do it without anybody other than...
Boom! Greg Sparrow Leak Project. How the heck are you? Gotta love it out here. I can see why they call it Dreamland. It just feels like Dreamland out here. Amazing host. So I'm so glad you brought us here. Check me out on Leak Project. YouTube. Boom.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
And folks, here we are. We got the Intimidator van right here at the edge of the cliffs, looking over Tikaboo Valley and right at Area 51. We got a little wind going today, so I'm going to try and zoom in here a little bit. Right there, you are looking at the mountains surrounding Area 51, and you are looking low into the Area 51 airspace. Let me try and zoom in a little more. Well, folks, this is as good as it gets without hiking 3 hours up to Tikaboo Peak. You're looking at the airspace of Area 51, the mysterious Air Force base in the middle of nowhere, Nevada. I'm really excited to share this with you, folks. I've been up here many times, right here at the Powerlines Overlook. I have learned much about Area 51, listening to the radio traffic, and I've always wanted to let my audience on my website and now on my YouTube channel participate in that. And here we are, overlooking Tikaboo Valley and looking at Area 51. If you look at this peak right here, I hope you can see that with my shaky hands. That is Whitesides. That is one of the mountains where you used to be able to go up to, and you used to be able to look into Area 51 from right there. Of course, it is no longer possible. There's Whitesides here, Area 51 in that valley, so you can imagine how great of a view you had from up there. But unfortunately, they took Whitesides and also Freedom Ridge, which is over here. And now we have to go up to the Powerlines Overlook to scan the airwaves of Area 51, or of course go up to Tikaboo Peak to actually see the base. Let me zoom out and give you a little bit of an idea how big this whole valley is. So this is Tikaboo Valley, and over here off to the side we're seeing Bald Mountain. That's the tallest peak in the Grove Mountain range. A lot of communications gear of Area 51 up there. And we are actually going to, after a little break, I'm going to have to take a little break, get in my truck, and then hopefully we'll be able to listen to some radio traffic of Area 51. This is a perfect spot to monitor radio traffic of Area 51, and that's what we came up here to do. So yeah, Lee brought a lot of crazy equipment, and between his stuff and my stuff, we're going to be listening in on Area 51, what's going on there. So I'm going to pause this stream for a little bit. I hope to be able to pick it up later. Bear with me. I'm this is the first time I'm doing this. But oh yeah, let me actually show you before I do this. You can kind of see maybe the dirt road in the valley going off in the distance towards the foothills. That is Groom Lake Road. That is the road that you're driving on when you come down here and you visit the gates of Area 51. Down here is the highway. And over there, you can barely see it. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. That is where the black mailbox used to be. That has mysteriously disappeared again. All right, folks, I'm going to take a quick break, and I hope we get some more live stream going when we get the scanner running. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Jörg from Dreamland Resort, taking a little break. We are live again. Well, welcome back, folks. We made it inside Lee's van, and it's much more comfortable in here. It's blowing out there, and you can actually hear one of the Janets taking off from Area 51 right now. So, perfect timing. We just got one of the Janets on the scanner. I hope you could hear that. And let me turn around, and we just had an awesome flyby when we were at the mailbox. Let me see if I can show you that. Got a little bit of glare going on here. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, look at that. Had an awesome F-15 flyby.
I need to turn around and come back and do it again.
I've never seen them do that before. They went up,
I told you we were coming.
went over right over the Powerlines Overlook, banked around, and did another pass coming over us. That was probably one of the most spectacular things I've ever seen in this area. Okay. And yeah, by the way, you can see a little bit of Lee's rig here. I mean, he's got it all. What he doesn't have in here is not worth having. So, I hope I'm not giving any secrets away by showing the internals of your rig here. Do you want to explain a little bit what's going on? Okay, go ahead.
So we have, thank you, sir. Yep, thank you. So we have a 50-foot mast in the back that goes up. That 50-foot mast has 4 pan tilt zoom cameras on it. One of them is 16x, 16 times magnification. We also have 3 others that are about 12x magnification. They're both color and infrared. They're on the mast. Then below the mast on the van, we have a panoramic view across the front, like you see here. That's awesome. 4K. Then
that's so sweet.
Get you into actually all of them here so you can see. So that's the panorama view now. That's looking out off the front of the Intimidator.
Yeah, this is
out over Area 51 is right over here.
Yep.
That's the view straight out the front.
And if we turn around and look out the front window, look at that. There it is. So we are not lying. We are right here.
Yeah, that's the view. So we jump over and we can make that the full screen view across here. So the top view is the panoramic view, 180 degrees across the front of the Intimidator. The view, the next row down that you can see Rex's Jeep here, this is a 360 degree, this is a 360 degree view all the way around the vehicle. So there's a 180 degree.
Hang on. Just.
5-1, control, good afternoon, clear Jason Whiskey Bugsy, expect the visual on 32.
Okay, we just got a
Whiskey Bugsy visual for 32, Janet 5-1.
Janet 5-1 clear to approach Area 51. Whiskey Bugsy is fixes that the pilots use to approach Area 51.
4707, Janet 16.
I hope y'all can hear that. I'm using my microphone, but I hope you all can hear that. Okay, sorry, Lee.
That's okay.
I just wanted to get to the scanner.
We're not here for me. We're here for that. So,
oh, look at that. There's a little bit of traffic on the trunking system there.
yeah. Oh, that'd be nice. They're coming this way.
Oh, well,
They're coming this way.
maybe we'll get a nice
Yeah,
Janet
he said they're
flyby
gonna-
here.
He said he's going to take a spin to the east. That's
Right.
us.
Well, looking at the weather, I can see why. It looks
Yeah,
pretty grim
yeah.
over there. So,
Well, he said did he say 3-2?
3-2, yeah.
Yeah, so he's coming 3-2, so he's got to come from the north. So he's going to come right over us.
Well, not really over us. He's going to be
Right, we're going to
over
see
the mountain
him.
range. Yeah,
We're
we're
gonna
going
see him.
to see him.
Yeah.
We're going to see him.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can rig that other microphone to where it's a little closer to the scanner, just in case something is going on in the scanner. Well, that should do it. Folks, you should hear the Janets a little better. We are improvising here. This is not rehearsed. This is live as it happens.
Right, so this is the camera that
Oh, look at that.
used to look for Janet.
Oh, sweet. Look at that. We're just panning around.
Like you said, there was another mountain over there that has a tower up on top of it.
Yeah, there is. Let me see if I can point that out. Oh, you got it. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Right there. That is Bald Mountain. Look at that. Oh, you can see the radio. Holy moly, look at that. Sweet. There it is, the Bald Mountain radio site.
I told you we were going to look at it.
Oh, no, that's what I'm talking about.
All right, so let's see if we can see Janet out here.
The scanner locks onto something, yeah.
What we'll do is,
Okay.
if she's going to be taking a swing out, is your ADSB online or no?
I don't have one up here. My
No.
Rachel ADSB is on, yes.
Right, but does that go to regular ADSB? You
It goes
feed
to
out.
ADSB Exchange.
Yes, okay.
So if you go to the
then all
ADSB
we have to do
Exchange
is go to
website.
ADSB and
Yeah.
we'll watch her.
Yep. Now my receiver and Rachel doesn't cover up to the ground. So at some point they disappear behind the terrain. Okay. Yeah, flight radar 24, that should work also. I'm feeding flight radar 24, ADSB Exchange, and flight aware.
To the east, just to set up the normal cross on the 4 hours time.
I'll try to get up there a little easier.
That's China Paul, excuse me.
Yeah, that's
Janet
09. Got it right there.
Yeah, right there. There's Janet 16 right there.
Yeah, he's leaving, and then there's another one. That's probably the one,
Yeah, right
that
there.
one down there. That's Janet 15.
Oh!
51.
Oh, look. We got a fighter.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Let me tell my scanner. I think something is interfering with scanner.
Yeah.
It could be your
Yeah,
remote
right,
control
right,
for
yeah.
your rig. So
Right.
yeah, there they are. Janet 51 and Janet 16
Oh, and we got two fighters.
and two Thunderbirds.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, they're probably doing all kinds of loops over Indian Springs.
Janet 51 has that contact.
There we go.
Okay.
51 copy and expect the addition.
Okay, so he just said that Janet 51, this guy over here has this guy inside. That's what they just reported.
Sweet.
So we are in a perfect position to monitor their radio traffic.
As
And
we'll see him.
And we will see him. With that zoom lens of yours
Yeah.
on the tower, we should be able to see him. Huh? So we want to. Can we pan this over to?
We can do anything you want.
Let's see. No, actually, the other way. Yeah, when you pan that, that's when the scanner locks on. So we want to. Let's see. Put the scanner down. Yeah, right here, this area. That's what we want to focus on. So we'll see the Janet coming in over the hills, right over the hills, and then at some point it's going to drop down behind terrain, but we're going to see them approaching the base from the south, right along the above the hills, above the ridge line. So It'll be a while. We can see that they're still they're right over Mercury right now. They're actually pretty chatty today. And you know, that heavy weather that we have, you can see how the weather is really messing up air traffic. That's probably why they're a little more chatty than usual. Okay. Cleared for the visual approach. Whiskey Bugsy, then two fixes that they're using to approach the base. Basically, they fly up from Mercury, fly north, following Mercury Highway to the Whiskey fix. From there, they make a way to the Bugsy fix, and from there, they take a visual approach to Area 51. What's going on here? Yeah, I'm trying to skip that one. It'll be a while. Okay, we'll see. He's not even.
Move down to the WPR and push traffic out the north gate.
Oh,
Oh, interesting. Well, these guys should really be encrypted. Somebody didn't get the message to go encrypted. So we are live with security radio traffic of Area 51. How about that? Because that's what he's got in his little handy radio. We are listening live to Area 51 security. How about that? And somebody's probably going to get in trouble because they didn't turn on encryption on their radio.
Yeah, on area, not on our end.
Not on our end.
Yep.
It's fair game. It's all public frequencies.
We're all legal here.
So, well, folks, I can't really read many of the comments. I see your comments. I'm going to read them later. I see a lot of good wishes, and thank you all for joining. We are excited to do this, and I've been meaning to do this for so long. Today is the day. So here it is. We are sitting at the power lines, listening to communications of Area 51 and watching air traffic go in and out. There's Janet 51. They are right over.
I'm not sure if I checked in with you. We're level at 15,000, almost approaching Bugsy.
Okay, they're almost at Bugsy. Yeah, that's.
09 control, head ground clear, and radar contact.
There he is. They're almost at Yucca Lake there, looks like. So they're going to be turning, making a little bit of a, yeah, he's already turning towards Groom, which is up in that area up there. And this signal, by the way, that is tracking that Janet is coming from a receiver that I'm maintaining in Rachel. And at some point, there's terrain in the way. So at some point, we're going to lose them. That is not because, as some people claim, they turn off their transponder. It is just simply terrain in the way, which means they are so low that we can't track them anymore.
But if we had it with us, we'd track them further.
If we had it here, we'd see them land. I have been up here with an ADS-B receiver and I saw them land. I could track them all the way down to the runway. So can you scroll up to get him centered a little bit better? Perfect. So.
Janet 09, squawk 4724.
Whoa, there's another Janet.
That's Janet 09. Man, they are busy.
24, Janet 09. Janet 51, free to change crew.
It's gonna be a big night.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to follow me home.
There might be a mission tonight.
I'll drive first. I'll take you home.
Look at that. 2 Janets
3 Janets.
right there. One is leaving, one is approaching Area 51.
We have Janet 16, Janet
And
51,
Janet 16?
and Janet 9.
Yeah, Janet 16 is probably almost in Vegas by now.
Yeah.
So lots of traffic. There might be a mission tonight.
There's never be a mission tonight.
Yeah, look at that.
I knew that when I came in and all the white pickup trucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you saw
Yeah.
going in.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well,
I'm telling you, we're in the right spot at the right time.
yep. Okay, Janet 09 is handed off to Nellis Control. And Janet 51 should be probably getting handed off to Tower pretty soon, yeah. Those are a couple of the frequencies that I can't share online. You can listen to them, but unfortunately I can't share those frequencies for various reasons. But I got them in my scanner and we are listening to them. A little bit of history to the Janets. As most of you probably know, the Janet airline brings workers from Las Vegas to Area 51. There's about a dozen round-trip flights every day, Monday through Friday. And right now with Tonopah Test Range being shut down, the airport is, the runway is being resurfaced. This is, everything goes to Area 51. There's some shuttle bus service going to Tonopah from Las Vegas, but most traffic goes to Area 51, we suspect, and from there they take buses to Tonopah Test Range. Of course, it's not very active now with the runway being repaved. Go ahead.
They can do that direct without coming on a public road too, right?
I'm sorry, didn't.
The bus.
The bus,
Incredible.
yes, they can.
They go straight to Area 51.
They got connections
And
inside
never
the
has to
ranges.
go
Correct.
on a public road.
Correct. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Yes, they certainly do go straight to Area 51. From Area 51 to TTR, there's roads inside the ranges, and but of course there's not a lot of things going on at TTR right now with the airport shut down. The F-117s are flying out of Area 51 right now.
Which were flying just a little while ago.
Yeah, I just heard them. We just heard them not long ago, just before we started the live stream. Night 1 and Night 2 taking off from Area 51. And it sounded like they were going to the Edwards Air Force Base area. I heard them vector to Telescope Peak, which is typically a route that they take when they go to Edwards or China Lake or Plant 42. So they were en route in that direction.
So we've had 2 F-117s. We've had 2 F-16s. We've had
Correct.
2 F-15s. And then
Okay.
yesterday I had 2 F-16s and a hypersonic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What a busy day. Awesome.
It sucks, folks, but somebody's got to do it.
Right. Actually, let me. You want to take the other microphone?
Oh, yeah.
It's live.
I'll put this on here.
That way, folks can hear you
Yeah.
a little better.
Yep. So we get.
No, I
There
don't
he
want to. I don't want to hog all your bandwidth.
No,
You said you wanted to do a
We'll
stream.
do. I've got plenty of time. I don't have to be on the air till 7 o'clock my time.
Okay, so we can
Yeah.
hog the bandwidth
Yes,
for a
sir.
little longer.
I'm live streaming. You guys live
Dude,
stream.
we're live streaming.
We got
Awesome.
3 live streams.
Dude, you wouldn't believe it. Here,
Awesome.
open the side door. You got to look in and see this.
Come on in.
You got to look in and see this, okay? So we're watching for the Janets coming in on the big boy cam. That's the spooky cam. That's the
Yep.
original spooky cam,
Yep.
okay? So for the people that don't know what the spooky cam can do, on the top of that big mountain range over there,
Yeah.
see up there? On top of that big mountain range, there's a tower up there.
I just promoted your channel, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Oh yeah, but I wasn't talking to you.
Oh, my channel.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've already
Much
promoted your
appreciated.
channel a million
There's a
times.
Look at
tower
that.
up there.
Oh my
Whoa.
God, that is amazing.
Zoom in on that bad boy.
We just did.
Oh,
It's only 30 miles away.
Yeah. Well, that is absolutely incredible, I gotta tell you.
Well,
That's amazing.
That's why we brought it, was to be able to do that. So, and anybody can take a picture of that anytime they want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There ain't
Yep.
nothing classified about me zooming in on that thing like
Yep.
Zoom
that.
in on it again.
And that's us
Wow.
moving around is
Zoom in
what's
on.
shaking.
So you can actually see two of the radar
Yeah, you
domes.
see the radar domes on top of it and the building beside it.
The radar domes they are using to track test flights.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the infrastructure that's
Mm-hmm.
tracking test flights. And
Now we
that
do have to
zoom-
we do have to listen to some Area 51 rock radio before we leave.
Okay, if they
And
are
I-
transmitting,
Yeah, well, I want to listen.
well,
And, I want to talk about that a little bit, what they're doing,
yeah,
because other people are already doing it publicly, and so I could talk about what other people are already doing publicly.
okay,
And
Okay,
so
good.
there's already people that use Wi-Fi transmitters as radar. That's really what they're doing.
that's what they're doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
So-
using what they're doing, I think, is they are actually passive radar systems.
Correct. But what they're
Uh,
doing is they're using the
Can I
they're
lean on
using
this?
yeah.
Do you want
Okay.
to sit here?
No, I'm good. I
They're,
just,
they're using a alternative. They are not the source of the emission.
Yeah.
So what they do is they monitor the source of the emission
right.
directly. Then they do phase shift differentiation (TDOA) on the echo of that signal. And so it's that echo that they are seeing, and they're only recording the echo and the difference from the
Yeah.
source signal to the echo. And that's the image
Right.
for everything.
Well, I think, let me just see. There's a thing that I'm seeing here. I'm hoping. Okay.
Wait, comment, Jade. Wait,
Yeah.
sorry.
What they're doing, I think, is taking it to the next level. What you describe is a passive radar system
Right.
that basically has the advantage that we can track aircraft without emitting a signal.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not visible to the aircraft as a potential threat. But what they are doing with these with these two radio transmitters, they enable the guys at Grom to do passive radar tracking, but then what they are doing now is developing countermeasures to that tracking. So they have airplanes testing jamming systems for their passive radar. So they, it's always
They're
like,
doing-
okay, we develop something, the Russians develop, or
right,
the Chinese
right.
develop something that's
Yeah.
even better. So this is the next level. We're actually doing jamming for passive radar. That's what that 99.9 megahertz
Okay.
station in Rachel and the
Okay.
99.1 megahertz station in Tonopah do.
Oh, okay.
And maybe heck, let me just tune my scanner
Yeah,
to
you got the
99.9
button right
and
there.
see
Just
if,
flip that knob, man.
no,
flip
it's
the
not
switch.
transmitting.
Turn the knob.
It's not transmitting, but let's see if the 99.1 is transmitting. Mhm.
If you're just joining us, we are inside the Intimidator van, talking about the ins and outs of Green Lake, Area 51,
Active and passive radar tracking and jamming.
and what Lee just said.
We're
Okay.
tracking inbound and outbound Janet flights. And it looks like it's going to be a busy day.
Yeah, and for the folks on my live stream, this is Jörg of Dreamland Resort in the Intimidator with Lee and with Rex, and we are monitoring Area 51
Like never before.
like never before.
Yeah.
We were greeted by a couple F-15s earlier. That was really cool. Got some awesome footage of that.
Yeah. F-16s, F-111s,
Ooh, F1.
or excuse me, F-115. or
F-117.
F-117s, excuse me.
F-117s
Yeah.
taking off from Area
Yeah,
51.
stealth fighters.
What about any F-69s? Okay.
No. That's slow flying, man.
Sorry. That was a bad joke.
And
And, the interesting thing about the F-117s is they normally fly out of Tonopah Test Range.
Yeah.
Tonopah Test Range is right now repaving its runway. So the whole airport is shut down, and the F-117s are flying out of Area 51 right now.
Cool.
What we just heard a little while ago, flying the F-117s using call sign Night 1 and Night 2, flying out of Area 51, that is proof that they are flying out of Area 51 now.
There's another Thunderbird.
A lot of people are doubting that, but it is a fact, and we just proved that.
Yeah, we just heard it.
And the Thunderbirds are practicing over Indian Springs. That's one of their practice grounds there. Actually, I think we probably missed Janet 5-1
okay.
going in, but there's going to be another one.
So, folks, also, if you're just joining us, we're waiting for flights to come in to the base because we're perked atop a mountaintop that we can see flights actually as they land in the base. This is one of the best areas you can get to, isn't it? Would you say?
With a vehicle.
With a vehicle?
Yeah.
Legally.
It is the best place where you can drive a vehicle up to, absolutely. You can not see Area 51 from here, but you can see very low into the airspace over Area 51, so you can see stuff flying in and out. And of course, monitoring radio traffic. I can even monitor ground traffic at Area 51 with this scanner from here. If you want to see Area 51, you got to hike up to Tikaboo Peak. It's a little bit of a hike. It takes a little bit of doing. I used to do it a lot when I was younger, not so much anymore now that I'm older, but it is a great view. And if you always wanted to see Area 51 with your own eyes, that's where you want to be on Tikaboo Peak.
And smile, because they're videotaping you the whole time you're there.
Yeah.
The so-called weather station.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've actually done some research years ago. I was able to track the weather station logistically to Area 51. So it is being monitored and being maintained by Area 51.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can catch another Janet. But so far, this has been very interesting. A very interesting afternoon with a lot of Janet traffic. And I can probably go as far as saying that there is a very good chance that there will be a mission tonight.
I'm betting on it.
Like between
They flew two F-15s back to see us.
Yeah.
You've been here 25 years.
How many
times have you seen that?
That was amazing.
Yeah, they turned around and came back. That's like,
that is something I've never seen.
Right.
Them literally doing a U-turn,
Right.
coming back and doing another low pass.
Right. But we called them.
Yeah.
And I told everybody, we called them before we came. We told them we were going to be here. And we told them we weren't leaving until we at least saw a helicopter. So now we've heard two F-115s, seen two F-16s yesterday, seen two F-16s today, and we've seen four F-16s today because we saw ones right after we got together fly over.
Yeah.
So those were F-16s there. Then we saw the other F-16s.
Yeah.
And then the F-15s that flew away and came back. So they still got to show up with a helicopter because I said I wasn't leaving until we saw a helicopter. The black helicopter that came to visit you.
Yeah.
Classified. Can't talk about
Let's talk about that offline.
Okay.
No.
The one that landed in the parking lot up there. That's the one I'm talking about. My black helicopter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The number on it don't come back to what it is.
Okay.
Okay. The number on it comes back to an airplane from Florida from 1947, and that is not.
They do that.
Yeah. It's only 4 digits.
Yeah. This sounds like there's another Janet getting ready to take off. Yeah, they do that. They spoof their hex codes.
Yes.
It's very easy to do.
Yeah.
They got
the N number on the side.
Oh, the N number on the side.
The N number on the side comes back to a 1947 Stearman.
Interesting.
Out of Boca Raton, Florida.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. They're the ones that are flying it around. I just looked it up. And I was like, I had everybody do it because we have a picture of it.
Wow.
Yeah, and the N number goes back to a 1946. I think it's a 1946 or 1949 Stearman.
No, that should be by FAA standards. That should be illegal. The N number is just like your license plate on your car. You can't just put a different license plate on your car.
It is. And the windows are tinted.
Huh.
The windows are tinted
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, you can't see in. You can see in through the sides and the back, but you can't see in through the front.
And where did you see them?
Here,
Yeah.
when I came here last time,
Oh, yeah.
I came out to do a live stream.
Yeah.
And 1 minute and 38 seconds after the live stream started, that helicopter came and hovered right in front of me
Wow.
and just stayed there and then flew away. And so we got the number off of it. In fact, the KLW World News helicopter, our logo helicopter, is that helicopter with our logo on the side.
Huh.
We had a 3D model of that helicopter made.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I will see if I can.
Let's go back outside, folks. I'm going to take the live stream outside. Everybody says thank you. You're amazing.
Sure.
Well, and thank you guys for watching us. And by the way, for those that don't know me, I'm York of DreamlandResort.com. Been running Dreamland Resort for 26 years now, my website, and I just started a YouTube channel last year. If you want to come check it out, I got a lot of stuff about Area 51 on my channel. Dreamland-Resort is my YouTube channel. Come and check it out.
Is it a 4-star or 5-star resort?
It's a 5-star plus.
Hello. So, folks, you've been watching for a long time. I met Georg about 5 years ago when I came out here with the film crew. And,
All right. Let me just rearrange myself here.
But you can sit on that side. I don't need to sit on it if you want, or you can sit that chair he was in.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What am I doing?
You can sit that chair if you want. Take
Yeah.
that chair. Make yourself
Yeah,
comfortable.
I think I moved back there.
Yeah, yeah. Make yourself comfortable. And what I'll do is, I'm going to try to find my content. I'm going to go back to one of our previous shows.
Well, folks, I'm trying to read some of my...
Right here's the helicopter.
Oh. Hang on. This is the helicopter that
This is
Lee
the
was
helicopter
just
that came-
talking
that
about.
came to see me at when I was here
I'll
last
be
time.
damned. Look at that. I'll be damned. That's right by the little alien, yeah.
Yes. Now, was he there to see me? No, we were wondering. Until about right here.
Huh.
And when we got right here, he turned and looked right at me. Just
Wow,
like that.
look at that.
So is he looking at me? Or is
No
he looking
kidding.
at me?
Look at that, folks. Yeah, he's definitely looking at us.
And then he flew away.
Wow.
And that's the one that came there and landed.
That is
Right.
probably the one that I've seen there.
Yeah.
I just
But-
can't...
But it doesn't have the, if it's that one, the number, what it says on the side and what it is are not the same thing. There's a
Yeah, I
Janet
wish
coming
I
out
would
right
have
there.
took a picture. I was just literally on my way to the mailbox and saw it.
Yeah, there's a Janet right there
Landing.
coming out, Janet 48.
Oh, that's the guy we just heard
Yeah.
being handed off, yeah. Nice.
We might have caught him on this camera here, I don't know.
Well, he's still, he would be already out of range.
Yeah, but I've had it there and it's recording on the internal hard drive.
Yeah, you might have caught him.
Yeah, we'll
He would be right where you're pointing right now. That's
Yeah,
where he would
yeah.
be.
Yeah.
But he's already headed back from us and heading south along Mercury Highway. So he's way out there.
This is going to be great.
And here is tracking.
Oh, excuse me.
See that? That is Janet. Which one is that?
Janet 48.
Janet 48. Leaving right now. So there is a constant coming and going, especially early in the mornings when people usually go to work at Area 51. The night shift might be heading home, but most people go to work at Area 51. So there's probably about 6 or 7 round trip flights in the morning bringing people in, and as many in the afternoons
We've
bringing
had that
people
just
back
since we've
home.
been here.
Yeah, they are busier than they are normally.
Yeah.
So there's, with between the, maybe we can talk about that a little bit. The Next Generation Air Dominance Project.
Mm-hmm.
What is, that is for those of you listening, watching, we're going to talk a little bit about the Next Generation Air Dominance Project that has just been decided. There was a competition between Lockheed and Boeing for who was going to build the central piece of that project, a manned fighter jet. And it has just been decided. Okay, yeah, that jet has just been handed off to Nels Control. So the competition has just been decided for Boeing. Boeing is building the next generation air dominance project fighter jet, a sixth generation fighter jet that is mostly controlled by AI. So you have AI taking a lot of the responsibilities of the pilot. And what's really cool about that project is that, man, they are chatty today. Oh, this is.
I told you.
Yeah, this is actually one of the emission frequencies that I just
I
had.
told you.
Getting there.
I called them.
So, okay, to finish that thought, the next generation air dominance project is surrounded by a swarm of drones that are also controlled by AI. So it's just like today they have a bunch of missiles on board. The next generation is going to have a swarm of drones flying information with them.
With a bunch of missiles on board.
With a bunch of missiles on board, or with one or more missiles on board, with countermeasures and with all kinds of stuff. So it's like basically the pilot of the manned centerpiece of the F-47, as it's being called, just says, okay, drone one, there's a target on the ground, take care of that target. That's all it needs to do. Everything else, drone one takes care of that. It knows where the target is. Pilot designates the target. Drone one says, okay, got you, I'm on my way, and goes down there and takes care of that target. Then he's got somebody on his tail. Hey, drone two, take care of the guy behind me. Drone two, yes, sir, I'm on my way. Boom, goes, takes care of the target. That's how this next generation air dominance project works. It's a swarm of AI controlled devices, manned and unmanned, and it is more than our enemies can dream up in their wildest dreams. It's going to be their worst nightmare. And that's exactly why they have to keep it secret. And we don't have a problem with that. I want to say that right here. We don't have a problem with the secrecy at Area 51. But we are also curious. And if they let things slip, then are we to blame to pick it up? No. We just lift up the curtain a little bit and peek under it. And if it's anything that is, let me put it that way, I have held back information that I didn't put on the website because I thought it was too sensitive. Of course, I had my wake-up call. I'm going to do a live stream together with Linda on the 18th of April about that FBI raid. They tore my house apart. They took over $20,000 worth of equipment from me. So, warning received loud and clear. But I'm not doing anything wrong. So maybe I'm toning it back a little bit, but what I'm doing is legal. I've never done anything illegal concerning Area 51 or otherwise, by the matter, by that way. And, these guys are just as curious as we are. That's a funny thing that always blows my mind. When I talk to military people that come out here for the exercises or whatever, they are just as curious about what is going on at Area 51 as we are. Well, hey, you know what's going on. Tell me a little bit about what's going on there. I said, no, I'm not. I'm just a guy. I'm just running a website about Area 51. Over 25, 26 years, I've accumulated a little bit of information, and I understand things now. I know how things work together. But bottom line is, they have security down so well that if they don't want us to see it, we are not going to see it.
Correct.
And yeah, Lee just agreed with me. And, wouldn't you say that for once it is their responsibility
It is.
to keep things secret?
Right.
If they want to keep it secret.
That's
Because if you and I, can pick it up with a scanner. I mean, your stuff is way more advanced than what I'm using, but
they're not putting out anything that they don't mind getting out.
Right. And if we can pick it up with our equipment,
Stuff you can buy from Radio Shack and off Amazon,
then
right,
the guys that we really need to be concerned about can pick it up
right,
any day of the week.
Yeah, there's nothing here that the average guy can't pick up with what we've got. We're not here to hack the place.
Yeah.
And so we didn't bring anything to do that.
Right. Exactly.
So this is all off the shelf stuff, off the shelf programming. There's nothing special in here about anything. We haven't hacked anything to listen to anything. I just happened to load the proper files to hear what we're hearing.
And by the way, a lot of that information is none of that information is classified, and a lot of the information is on my Dreamland Resort website.
And some of it is just
And
not out there
some
for the
of it-
general public.
right. Like
But is there.
you might have noticed that I'm not really showing my radio scanner because I don't want certain frequencies to be in the picture.
And this isn't showing frequencies either. It's only showing talk groups.
That's right.
I've got both of these
yeah,
programmed that way.
that's exactly
Because that's
right.
none of my business or anybody else's business.
And we don't want to get into their business too much.
Right.
But I mean, your stuff is by magnitudes more advanced than my stuff, but all of your stuff still is unclassified
Right.
and is
Right.
off the shelf stuff that
Right.
anybody can buy.
I only have one thing in here that's not normally off the shelf. That's that Harris government radio over there. The one on my dash, the far side right over the steering wheel. That's the only thing that you won't see in the average vehicle.
Yeah, but
That's a federal radio.
okay,
But-
we won't show that
Right,
too
right.
closely.
But that's okay. I mean, it's okay. It's not classified. But that's the only. Everything else is pretty much off the shelf. You can't go in and buy that off the shelf normally, but I got one.
Awesome.
So, legally.
Yeah, Harris, they are a big player electronics.
Yes.
In the
They
ranges,
are.
definitely.
And that's a quad band radio. It does low band, VHF, UHF, and 7/800.
Yeah, that is Harris is a company running the trunking systems inside the ranges.
Hmm.
So they certainly have a great contract there.
Mhm.
There's two different trunking systems with 10 or 11 sites each. So
One of them's right there.
yeah, right there. And
It monitors all of them.
I'm blown away that you can actually pick that up from up
Yeah.
here. This is from Rachel. I am a little limited because I'm right behind the mountain range, and of course, from here we pick up everything. We are almost line of sight with Area 51. We are line of sight with at least two of their trunking systems. One on Papoose Mountain, one on Bald Mountain, and we pick it up line of sight.
Hmm.
It doesn't get any better than that. Of course, a lot of it, and I'm actually in the process of doing a video about the trunking systems at Area 51. A lot of it is encrypted, but some of it isn't, which I'm amazed to hear. I really would have thought that the whole system is encrypted, but I haven't listened to it for a while. And here I'm tuning in the other day, and boom, there's clear communications going on. What's up with that?
And
I guess the guys, don't worry about it anymore.
Right.
Because
Well, no, they worried about it. They're just things happen.
yeah, and there's of course the real security relevant stuff is encrypted.
Right.
They have the capability, and let me make that very clear. There has been some confusion, and I think I might have added to that with a comment that I made in a previous video. No, I cannot monitor. I can monitor encrypted systems. I can see the frequency hopping. I can see the talk groups, but I cannot listen to it.
Right.
And somebody had made that remark that was a little easy to misunderstand. I am not, and I never have listened to encrypted trunking systems. But, if it's not encrypted...
And this
it's
system
fair game.
here, when it detects an encrypted frequency, it changes to another frequency. It starts
Yeah, it skips
scanning
it.
again.
Yeah.
It won't, if it realizes, and it knows it's encrypted. As soon as the receiver sees it, it knows what an encrypted signal is.
Yeah.
And it just skips over the channel. It doesn't even stay there. So you couldn't even listen to it to try to record it because it won't even stay on the channel.
Right.
Which is what we want. We're not there to listen to buzzing.
And if we really wanted to do harm, it would be so easy. You can use an SDR to record the raw signal,
Right.
analyze it, and all that.
Right. We're not doing it.
I have never done any of that.
Right.
We are not doing that. That's what we don't stand. We
Right.
don't stand for that.
Right.
And I got to point this out, folks. You can hear from my accent. I was not born in this country. I'm a proud American by choice. Been here for almost 30 years. I plan to stay here for the rest of my life. I love this country. And what we are doing is not in any way meant to, and it does not harm this country at all. That's another thing that people sometimes hold against me. We are curious, and geeks,
Right.
for, no, for lack of a better word, that just like you guys listening, we like to lift up that curtain a little bit and take a peek under it. That's all we
Mhm.
want. And I'm seeing 43 people in the stream right now, which is a lot for my streams. You guys are a lot bigger, so you probably have hundreds and hundreds, but this is a great response for my stream. And, you know,
Well, we're going to do it again. And then we're going to come over to Rumble. So I'm on Rumble, KLW World News on Rumble. And so we have a news channel. Specifically, we have 8 channels on Rumble, but you'll want to do the KLW World News channel, not War Watch. And we're going to go live there shortly
yeah, well,
because I have a nightly news broadcast coming up in 2 hours.
okay, so yeah, I don't want to hog all your bandwidth.
No, you're good.
I mean, this is so great. Lee actually has a satellite. I can say that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He actually has a Starlink set up on his van, and we are broadcasting. Normally, you are lucky if you can send a text from here with your arms waving in the air and standing on one leg. Sometimes you get service here, but we got super 4K streaming service from here because of his Starlink, and I really appreciate that he's
Anytime.
letting me use that. So I don't want to hog up too much of his bandwidth. We probably take a break here for a second, and we'll be back in a little while. And folks, I'm seeing a lot of positive comments. I can't really read them
Sorry. Thank
without
you,
my
guys.
glasses, but I am certainly going to go through them after the stream. And stay tuned, don't go away. We will be back on this stream, and of course, Lee's stream is going to
Yep.
be live in about 2 hours. Is it?
Yep.
6
2 hours.
o'clock our time, 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. PDT. And in the meantime, we're going to do a little regrouping here, and we'll be back on this channel and on Lee's channel. Don't go away. We'll be back. Jörg from dreamlandresort.com and Lee from
KLW World News.
Awesome. And we are